he's good. Yes, he went on to further say every component of the nation must unite to face the danger, Kurian said. We cannot be distracted with American homosexuals. Well, the factory that was attacked is operated by Air Products, which has headquarters in Allentown, PA. The company said its employees at the factory were accounted for Friday. It did not say whether the 2 people that were reported injured were among its workers. I heard a very big bang. It was very loud. We got scared, but just thought it was an airplane breaking the sound barrier, says Lucie Germain, who was sitting on her porch about 800 feet from the gas plant when the explosion hit. Later, I went back inside to clean my shorts. Cleaned my shorts, and I heard on the radio there had been an explosion near us. That's when I connected the dots, she said. Damn, she's good. And French security forces have been on high alert since Islamic extremist gunmen targeted the Paris office of satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo in January, starting off several days of attacks in the city that left a total of 20 people dead. Jean-Pierre Filou, a Paris-based extreme expert, said that Friday's attack was most likely inspired, if not organized, by the Islamic State, also known as ISIL or ISIS, and proves the massacre at Charlie Hebdo was only the opening sequence of a long-term terror campaign against France in particular and Europe in general. ISIS killers are absolutely opportunistic in their targeting. They chose their aims basically to amplify the media impact of their attacks, trying to provoke blind retaliation against the French Muslims and an escalation of violence, he said. Damn straight. Hang up those Muslims. I'm telling you. Well, in Washington, the White House issued a statement condemning those attacks. Yes, they took time out from the gay celebrations. Yes, they said, our thoughts and prayers are with the victims of these heinous attacks. No, they're not. You're lying. You're celebrating gayness. Yes, as the resident has discussed with his French, Kuwaiti, and Tunisian counterparts in recent weeks, we are resolute and undivided in our shared effort to fight the scourge of terrorism right after we get done with these gay parties. And, of course, moving along today, and now we got to go to, of course, Tunis.
Yes.
Yes, the lone gunman kills 37 people in an attack on a Tunisian coastal resort. 37 dead, 1 gunman. Yeah. See, now here's the thing. This one gunman here,
yes,
he knocks down 37.
Yes.
Right? He had an AK, right?
Yes.
We get Dumb and Dumber going into Charleston there, and he only gets 9. See, now they know how to do it in Tunis. Well, a lone gunman armed with an AK-47 killed 37 people, mostly tourists, today in an attack at a beach resort in Tunisia. At least 36 people were wounded, and the shooter was killed, finally, by security forces. The Interior Ministry initially said that at least 2 gunmen were involved, but revised its report as investigators studied the chaotic scene. Security officials said the attacker had posed as a swimmer, but they thought it was a little odd that he had a AK-47 and a bunch of magazines stuck in his Speedo. Witnesses said the bodies were strewn in the sand along the beach chairs as the killers opened fire on... What do you mean killers? No, killer opened fire on the sunbathers in the resort town of Sousse. The attack began at the Imperial Marhaba Hotel, says Ministry of the Interior spokesman Mohammed Ali Laroui. A terrorist infiltrated the buildings from the back before opening fire on the residents of the hotel, including foreigners and Tunisians, he said. He said the gunman was killed during the fire exchange with security forces. Sousse, a popular vacation spot for European tourists, is located about 90 miles southeast of the capital of Tunis. There was a mass exodus off the beach. No, really? Yes, says British tourist Gary Pine, telling Sky News, adding that his son saw someone who got shot. He said guests at the hotel were first told to lock themselves in their rooms and later to gather in the lobby. Elizabeth O'Brien, a tourist from Dublin, told Ireland's RTE News at 1 that at first she thought she heard fireworks going off, but then realized the sound was gunfire. I ran to see my children and grabbed our things, and I was running towards the hotel, and waiters and security on the beach started shouting, "Run, run, run," she said. Well, we ran to our room, which is like a little bungalow, so we were actually trapped in our room because we have no contact. The phone there doesn't work to call reception. Nice hotel. Yeah, honey, get on the phone. Get us some room service up here. I'm starving like a bitch. Oh, I'm sorry, dear. This resort is like, we got it with food stamps. We don't actually get room service.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the Imperial Marhaba Hotel is owned by Spain's RIU Hotels and Resorts, which has more than 100 hotels in 19 countries. The company offered its condolences to the victims and their families. Spain's Interior Minister, Jorge Fernandez Diaz, meanwhile, raised his country's terror alert level to 4 on a scale from 1 to 5. Yeah, see, all this is going on, and what are we doing here? Oh, let's celebrate gay marriage. A British tourist, Alan Callahan, told the BBC that guests at his hotel were taking shelter in the quarters of the hotel's staff and were being told to wait for an all clear. Another British tourist told Sky News he was in a swimming pool when he heard quite a large explosion, and guests began running back towards the hotel from the beach. I guess the whole thing plays out a little differently when you're cowering like a bitch underwater. Well, the Tunisian security forces have been on alert since March when 2 Tunisian gunmen opened fire in the Bardo Museum in Tunis, killing 21 tourists and policemen. The 2 gunmen were also killed in the attack. But it seems to be the thing of choice these days. You know, it used to be, let's mail some anthrax. Let's mail some bioterror. Oh, no, wait, that's the U.S. government. But now it seems to be the thing of choice is AKs and Speedos.
Yes.
So there you go. Wherever you are, you keep an eye out on those beaches and pools today. Well, moving along today. Right. Okay, fine. She's telling me we got to go for another freaking commercial.
Break for a commercial.
No, thank you, boss. All right, so we'll go for another commercial, but don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we're going to tell you about the Friday attacks actually may be coordinated, but not centrally directed. That could be important. Back in 2.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio
1. What if there was a coffee that was sourced from some of the world's most renowned growing regions, abundant with rich, fertile soil? What if this coffee was picked at the perfect moment, then packed meticulously and shipped carefully to be roasted under the watchful eye of coffee masters? What if it was expertly blended, ground, and sealed, ensuring maximum flavor and freshness, then brewed in small batches and always served fresh within 20 minutes, just the way you like it? Now, what if this coffee just happened to be the coffee you already know and love? Tim Hortons, always fresh, always great tasting coffee.
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Old Spice Body Spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power!
I stood outside assessing the situation. I knew it could be rough in there, but how rough, there was no way to know for sure.
Hey, guys.
Daddy, it's pink!
But hey, a new house, it's a blank canvas, and we got a great one, thanks to a really low mortgage rate from the Navy Federal Credit Union.
Pink?
So she's a princess. You got a problem with that?
million members, 4 million stories. Navy Federal Credit Union.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis.
And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, Pop-Up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I've been so inspired by being in New York because everything from what people are wearing on the street to the way they're interacting with each other, to drive through the West Village at night and you see a couple kissing on the street, or you see someone fighting outside their apartment, or you see so much humanity on a daily basis that even if you're not inspired by your own life that day, you can be inspired by someone else's life.
You got that long hair slicked back, white t-shirt, and I got that good girl face and a tight little skirt. And we go crashing down, we come back every time, 'cause we never go out of style. We never go out of style. Take me out. There's only one place to get more Taylor. You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
Here's Jerry Lewis directing Irving Village. Irving, can you act with the realistic person acting? Yes, Mr. Lewis. In France, we admire you. Oh, thank you, you short midget person. We do not like that midget. Oh, I'm sorry, little person with the thing with the thing.
Oh boy, you know, you always have a way to bring us back. You just did.
And here's Irving Village's incentive.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Oh, your name is Daphne, 'cause I smell the perfume and I hear the southern accent. Did you just salute to me, even though I'm blind?
Oh man. Well, you know, thank you. That's just
You know, I'm the most talented guy in this room.
Yeah. That's good. Thank you.
The music is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you got to hear it.
Yeah, we're with you, Louie. We're right there. We're going to hold on to your hand. Go into the light, Louie. Well, welcome back to the big show. Of course, your coffee and cigarettes. Friday Frappuccino for this 26th of June, 2015. 79 degrees, New York City's Central Park right now under sunny/cloudy/sunny skies. Yeah. Oh man, what there you go. We're into our we're past the 90-minute mark and we're still alive. So that's a I don't know. Is that I don't know what that is.
Same thing.
Is it the same thing? Okay. All right, well, we'll leave it at the same thing. Welcome back to the show, of course, and, we're going on with our, of course, continuing coverage of the gay celebrations. But, of course, we're also throwing in a little terrorism for fun.
Yes.
You know, you gotta throw in the terrorism for fun. Yeah.
They get f***ing crazy because all of a sudden nobody loves them.
The terrorists or the gay people? I don't know. I don't know.
My film, Unrepented, did very well in Europe.
Well, it did, but don't count on it doing any more. The Europeans will all be dead by the time you get another movie out. That's right. And moving on today, of course, those Friday attacks may be loosely coordinated, but not centrally directed. Oh, well, U.S. officials, of course, say that they have seen no evidence yet to suggest that a series of deadly attacks across 3 continents today are linked. They're just too damn busy with the gay celebrations. They say if it's official, at this point, it's too soon to tell whether or not these various far-flung attacks are coordinated centrally or whether or not they were coincidental. Says Army Colonel Steve Warren, a Pentagon spokesman. We are continuing to look into this, he says, with the Mai Tais on the beach with the gays. Well, in Tunisia, of course, that gunman killed 37 people, mostly tourists, at a seaside resort. In Kuwait, an Islamic State suicide bomber killed at least another 25 people at a Shiite mosque. And in France, a man was decapitated at a U.S.-owned gas factory, and his head was found on a post. Well, analysts say the attacks have not been centrally directed, but were likely loosely coordinated among jihadist groups such as Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State, which share similar goals of attacking Western and Shiite Muslim targets. Actually, if this gay rights stuff keeps up, I might join them. I might. Well, the groups may have been planning attacks separately and agreed among themselves to launch them on the same day, says Rick Nelson, an analyst at the Center for Strategic and International Studies. That's just organizations with a common goal loosely operating together to achieve a greater effect, Nelson said. It's what you have here. Wait a minute. That could be the same thing could be said about the gay marriage proponents. Yeah. Well, we do know that ISIL encourages lone wolf attacks, says Colonel Patrick Ryder, a spokesman for U.S. Central Command, which oversees operations in the Middle East. A number of jihadist groups around the world have rebranded themselves under an Islamic State banner because they see the group as overtaking Al-Qaeda as the premier global terror group. That's right. We are your number one global terror group. There you go. Yes, for car bombs and death to infidels, there's only one. Well, in a video released today, the Islamic State called on supporters to increase attacks during Ramadan, the Muslim holy month, and be keen on waging invasion in this eminent month and commit martyrdom, the Associated Press reported. Homeland Security Secretary what is it? J? Really? G-E-H? J? Hey, how's it going, man? It's J. Yeah, well, J. Johnson, of course, encouraged Americans not to be intimidated by the attack, so we continue to encourage all Americans to attend public events and celebrate gayness all over the country. But he did add, always remain vigilant, he said in a statement. President Obama is being briefed on the events throughout the day as he is down in his skivvies at the pool. Presidential Secretary Eric Schultz told us today. Yeah. Yes, obviously these are unfolding circumstances happening in real time, Schultz said of Obama's penis. Really? I didn't know he was circumstanted. Well, Schultz told reporters aboard Air Force One en route to Charleston, South Carolina, where Obama was to deliver a eulogy for Reverend Clementa Pinckney. Schultz said national security staff members are in touch with their counterparts in their respective countries and continue to offer help and assistance. Well, actually, what they're doing is yakking to them on the cell phone, getting the latest gossip. But okay. All right. Well, and Obama did appear, of course, to deliver that eulogy today, just before he went down to the pool.
Yes.
And what did he say? What zingers do you think he had for us today? Oh, yes. Well, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Yes, Obama says, quote, God has let us see where we've been blind. Praise Allah. Well, in Charleston, South Carolina today, of course, paying tribute to the 9 African Americans who lost their lives in a church shooting last week, President Obama said Friday their deaths should inspire Americans to finally confront the challenges of gun violence and race relations. Yeah, absolutely. I think we should outlaw race relations. Get them the hell out of here. Separatism. Well, as a nation, out of terrible tragedy, God has visited grace upon us, Obama told some 5,000 congregants at the funeral for the church pastor. For he has allowed us to see where we've been blind. See, he's referencing Muhammad right here. Everybody knows, and Hillary Clinton will attest, of course, that, our Christian God is a woman. Well, on issues ranging from the Confederate flag to voting rights to hiring practices, the nation can do no better job of living up to its creed of equal opportunity, said the nation's first African-American president. I'm not just a token and a tool. I'm here. I'm actually doing it. I'm the president. Yeah. Well, as a bipartisan group of lawmakers looked on, Obama again called for more legislation to restrict the availability of guns that have taken so many lives. Mr. President, what about all the Hyundais that have driven them there to take so many lives? That's it, I'm telling you. We need to ban the Hyundais right across the country.
Bullshitters, never keep your mouth shut, always hustling, always looking for something to do and putting things together. That's American. Look how they took the country away from England.
Well, there he goes with the old, what is that there? It's that England thing. That's right. There you go. Well, I don't know about you all, but I had a good weekend. Yes, I did. Except, of course, for Frisbee tag, we got absolutely smoked because Jenny decided to go off for a, quote, walk with some sexy Latin man. Yes. So, Gilbert's team just smoked us like 93-4. Whatever. I scored the 4, so, I felt good. The rest of my team, however, not feeling so good today after the beatings, but hey, there we go. Welcome to the big show today, of course. We're back from the weekend. Coffee and cigarettes on HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk, of course. And your Monday Mocha for this Monday, the 29th of June, 2015. 75 degrees Central Park right now. A whole bunch of cloudy, and, well, yeah, it's cloudy. It's not raining, but it's cloudy. But that's okay. It can rain all at once. You know why? Well, I'll tell you why. We got a hell of a show for you today. All kinds of stuff. There's too many stories today to actually jam in that 17-line freaking write-up that I do for the show every day. Yeah, way too much. Way too much. I'm going to say 6-8 stories that didn't even make it into the description. Just too much to list. Gilbert better shut the hell up. We got so much to cover today, including, yes, the New York Killers saga finally ends. They have been captured. Yes, they have. It's official. It's a good feeling. Yes, the New York killer escapees were indeed headed to Mexico via Texas, the authorities say today. Now, who told you that? Oh, wait, that would be me. Yeah, called that sucker right in the beginning, didn't I? Yes, I did. And, of course, today, Supreme Court is refusing to ban the controversial method of execution they're using, with those drug cocktails that are uncomfortable for 4 minutes. You know those ones. Well, hey, and other stories we're following, we'll tell you about a man killed by fireworks right in front of his family, blew his whole head off. That's got to be a real kick in the pants or a shot in the head, yeah. And the historic American divide still remains. Yes, well, the gays may be still celebrating their urban versus rural is the big divide that we still have to deal with as Americans. Of course, Project Lightning. Yes, Twitter is about to add live event coverage to its offering. And in election 2016 news today, of course, we have for you the 6 things to know about Chris Christie. Yeah, there's actually 6. We were surprised too. And in other news, Pastor Joel Osteen heckled during his church mass in Texas yesterday. 6 people were arrested. That's right. And a Texas attorney general says judges can still deny same-sex marriage licenses. Ha-ha! And they're still doing it. Oh, yeah. Yes, all that and so much more today. Like I said, 6-8 stories I can't even stick in there. So, hey, come on in, grab a cup, have a seat, light one up, sit right down here with me. It's coffee time. Of course, it is coffee time. Yes, it is. 3:04 in the city right now. And, yeah, 75 degrees, cloudy skies. But it's good to be back. Good to be back in Studio 2, of course. Number 2 at Times Square. And, yeah, it was a good day. We won't talk about Sunday. That was a different story. Yeah. Yeah, Jenny's like, no. And, of course, I am referring to the one, the only Jenny McCartney in the booth, pushing the buttons, making us go today on the show. Pushing the buttons, of course, on that PreSonus 2442 digital broadcast mixer. Bringing you the golden tones of yours truly, Gilbert Gottfried, Louis Lawless, and, of course, the Monsanto Man. Yes, there you go. So, once again, if you're looking for anything in professional audio gear, whether it be analog or, of course, digital, PreSonus.com, that's the place to go. Check them out. They got everything you need without a prescription right there. Bob's your uncle. Also, the show today is brought to you by the fine folks at Tim Hortons, New York City, now with those 8 fine locations all across the city to serve your coffee and baked goods needs. Tim Hortons absolutely, definitely is always fresh. And today I'm enjoying a nice, well, my favorite, the dark roast. So, I got my coffee and cigarette. Do you? Well, I guess the only other thing we're missing is the guest/co-host today, so let's get to it. Coming to us first live from Mill Bay Film and Television Studios in beautiful Mill Bay, British Columbia, Canada, is, of course, the one, the only Louis Lawless. Are you there, sir?
Can you give me any help for $25,000?
You know, what I didn't mention was that on Sunday, Jenny came to me and asked me for a loan, and she actually borrowed $25,000 because she had to go on some wonderful mystery cruise with this Latin guy she met in the park the day before. So
sex is only the tip of the iceberg.
Well, you and I know that too, but she's, you know, young and well, horny, and she's going to do what she's going to do. So I'm
Oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss as I always do on the show?
Yeah, you absolutely can. She's got that 20-second delay for you there, so you cuss away and Should be right on that old button for you.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
All right, well, moving on to about 8 blocks down the street from HTLA Studio 2 in downtown Manhattan is, of course, the one, the only Gilbert Godfrey, coming to us from his lovely, spacious, sprawling, mansion-esque apartment. Welcome, of course, to the show. Gilbert, it's good to have you here, as absolutely always. And are you going to do a regular intro, or don't do the Gwyneth Paltrow thing again? Don't.
What the fuck?
Yeah, maybe don't.
I'm ready.
Well, we can only hope.
Yeah.
We can only hope, because we got a lot to cover today, and I do have to ask.
Yes.
You've got to keep that huge guffaw laugh that you do to a minimum, because that would be that one.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to keep that. Like, I'm going to give you a ratio. I'll give you, like, you can use that 5 times during the show today.
Yes.
And you've already used 1. There you go. Oh. Well, that was 2.
Yes.
Well, before we move on here today, I want to do some shout-outs. Of course, the HTLA #1 fangirl out there, of course, the one, the only, Devlon Crawford, in the Spreaker.com live chat room, of course, today. And if you're anybody who's anybody, and surely you would know if you were anybody, at least to yourself. And,
yes.
Well, if you're anybody who's anybody, truly, you need to be in there as well. Head on over to Spreaker.com. Type in HTLA Radio 1 in the search. Get the hell in here and say hi to Dev. Or I'm coming after you. Oh, there's 3.
Yes.
Only got 2 more to blow there, buddy. Better use them sparingly. Well, moving on today, we got lots to cover, like I said in the intro of the show there.
Yes.
And, of course, not the least of which is the New York killer news, which, of course, has finally come to an end.
Yes.
And today, yes, they have, one of them was shot and killed. Yeah, the big, fat, ugly one. He was shot and killed. I guess we'll call him, I'm trying to remember now. It was Costello that was the fat one, right? Yeah. Right? So Abbott's the thin guy?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So they blew away Costello a couple of days ago. Yeah. And of course, I guess I'll tell you about it in a minute here. Abbott got shot, of course.
Yes.
He did get shot, but he's not dead. He's wounded and now back in custody. And the word is they were going just like a good old Crash Daddy Crash, what's his face said.
Yes.
Yes. Yours truly, right here, called it back on June 6th when they left. They're going to Mexico. They're going through Texas. And, of course, the authorities announced today that they were headed to Mexico through Texas. See, I missed my calling, Gilbert.
Yes.
I should have been one of those fugitive hunters.
Yes.
Yes. Well, in Albany, New York, recaptured killer David Sweat told authorities that he and fellow escapee Richard Matt had planned to flee to Mexico via Texas with prison worker and a gangbang sensation. It's, of course, that one and the only Joyce Mitchell, the party girl in the prison's laundry room.
Yes.
Yes. Well, Governor Cuomo said today Sweat's condition was upgraded from too serious from critical Monday. One day after being shot and captured near the Canadian border by state police trooper. Matt was fatally shot, of course, by U.S. Border Patrol officers on Friday, actually right during the show. It was about 3:40 in the afternoon, so probably just as I was delivering a punchline, he was going down.
Yes.
Well, they would kill Mitchell's husband, then get in the car and drive to Mexico on the theory that Mitchell was in love with one, or indeed double penetration, both of them. Yes, Cuomo said this today at the Capitol Press Room radio show. Then they would go live happily ever after, which is a fairy tale that I wasn't read as a child, Cuomo said. But we all believe what we want to believe, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Sweat told investigators the men decided to head for Canada when Mitchell did not show up after the men completed their spectacular escape under the cover of night of June 6th. Realizing that women were much easier in Canada, their plan quickly changed to grab some skank from Ontario.
Yes.
Who likes the double penetration, and then head to Texas and Mexico. There you go. Yeah, well, Cuomo said that Sweat told authorities that the two escapees actually split up about 5 days ago. Sweat felt that Matt was slowing him down. As a matter of fact, Cuomo told the press room. State Trooper Jay Cook spotted Sweat on Sunday in an open area less than 2 miles from the Canadian border. Sweat ran, and Cook gave chase, finally shooting Sweat as he reached the tree line. Yes, the tree line. Yes. Well, Cuomo has dubbed Cook a hero. Oh, so he's right up there with the homosexuals. Yes, of course, saying Sweat could have disappeared into the woods and then into Canada if Cook had not acted. And, well, geez, thank God he acted, man. What would the Canadians do? Christ, they'd probably catch him or something. Well, Sweat was rushed to Albany Medical Center, about 200 miles from where he was shot. It's the best case that we could give him for survival.
Yes.
Well, we're gonna. All right, we've shot you. It's pretty critical.
Yes.
We're gonna have to. We'll call in the chopper. That'll take about a good hour and a half to get here, and then. Let's see. We'll get you airlifted to some medical center 200 miles away. That should be another hour, and hopefully you'll be dead by then. Yeah. Well, it was determined by our trauma team that he did not require any surgeries, the center said in a statement Monday. David Sweat will remain at Albany Medical Center for at least a few days in case anybody wants to go and finish the job.
Yes.
Like that dirty, dirty little laundry whore's husband. Well, Cuomo told CNN that Sweat was not armed, but did have a bag with maps, Pop-Tarts, bug repellent, and other items. Wow, and the blacks bitch about getting shot unarmed. Come on. At least this guy had bug repellent. Come
yes.
on. Well, he said that, of course, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, he said an investigation was underway, of course, to determine how he obtained the items and who else may have aided in the escape. Cuomo rejected claims that the Clinton Correction Facility at Denmora had become a country club for inmates. The men had privileges that helped facilitate their escape. This is the prison where they're threatening other inmates in the rest of the system told Presscom. If you didn't have to go to Denmora had a reputation as the toughest prison in the system. It certainly is no country club, and with a previous history of 150 years with no escapes, it shouldn't seem so to anybody.
Yeah.
Well, the escape of Matt, 49 years old, and Sweat, 35, sparked a massive manhunt, of course, that drew up to 1,500 law enforcement issues. Yes. Law enforcement officials, of course, to the difficult wooded terrain of northern New York. Mitchell, who worked in the prison's tailor shop, was arrested days after the escape, accused of providing the inmates with hacksaw blades, screwdriver bits. She told authorities she had agreed to meet them outside the prison with a car, but that she had changed her mind. She also said the men had planned to kill her husband, Lyle, who claims to have had no knowledge of the planned escape or the gangbang sex. Well, a second prison worker, 53-year-old Gene Palmer, is also now facing charges. If you helped a convict escape, you become a convict, Cuomo said. I want to make that point perfectly clear. I guess we shouldn't talk about things that Cuomo's done that are illegal. wouldn't want him to end up in Denmora.
Yes.
Oh. So that is the saga of the New York Killers. Yes, it has indeed come to an end, and what an end, and geez, even the gangbang girl did not, I underscore the word not, get a happy ending. Well, moving on today, because we've simply got too much to list. Want to welcome, of course, the one, the only Apocalypse, yes, HCLA's promotional director. Yes, welcome to, of course, the Spreaker.com chat room, where he is now hanging with HTLA's first lady. Yes, the first lady of the, I don't know, United Radio States or something. I don't know. We'll just call her Michelle for short.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the show, Apocalypse. Good to see you. Yeah, Supreme Court now, if they haven't done enough to piss us off already. Yeah, you might have been asking yourself over the weekend, why the hell do we keep them around?
Yes.
That was a mistake on my part.
Well, yeah, but it's okay. You're Canadian there.
Yes.
Don't worry about it. I know I was certainly, getting hit by Frisbees asking why the hell is the Supreme Court around. But, well, today the Supreme Court is doing something, well, geez, I'm actually kind of behind. Yes, they're refusing to ban that controversial method of execution.
Yes.
You remember the cocktails that make them, I don't know, uncomfortable for like 4 minutes or something? Yeah. Yeah, that's it. We can't make them uncomfortable.
Same thing.
It really is, a bullet to the head or an injection that makes you feel uncomfortable for 4 minutes.
Yes.
I'm still saying, for the 50 whole cents. Come on.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. And the drugs, they're sitting there saying, oh, well, this drug is $600, that one's $1,800.
Yes.
Executions are costing us like $20,000 when we could just blow 50 cents in a .45 caliber. I just don't get it.
They get crazy because all of a sudden nobody loves them.
Well, I guess if you're on death row, you can kind of feel that way, Louis, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. So in Washington today, a closely divided Supreme Court again refused today to limit states' use of the controversial execution method that dissenting justices said was akin to being burned at the stake. Well, I'd remind the court that the executions used to be being burned at the stake.
Yeah.
Well, the court's conservative majority said lethal injection remains the most humane method of execution, and that challengers had not identified a suitable alternative given a shortage of drugs that has forced some states to experiment with less reliable alternatives. Justice Samuel Alito wrote in the decision for the court, all 4 liberal justices dissented vehemently. 2 of them said the entire death penalty likely is unconstitutional and urged the court to consider a broad challenge in the future. Yeah, I'm betting you those 4 were the 4 of the 5 who actually voted for the fags. Well, to prohibit the use of midazolam, a sedative that has left some death row prisoners seemingly able to feel pain and discomfort, the next 2 drugs, in a 3-drug cocktail, of course, would unfairly tie to the state's hands the justices' rule. While most humans wish to die a painless death, many do not have that good fortune, Alito wrote, holding that the 8th Amendment demands the elimination of essentially all risk of pain, would effectively outlaw the death penalty altogether. Well, to that I would kind of ask, well, what about our soldiers in, oil country anywhere, name one, who get shot from, Taliban scumbags? They're getting the pain.
Yes.
So how come it is that our absolute dregs of society, our scum of the earth, how come we don't want them to have pain? I don't get that.
That's why power is corrupt, and it is. We see it every day. We see it in every job. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure, Louis. All right. Well, Justice Sonia Sotomayor wrote that the principal dissent for the 4 more liberal justices charging that the ruling leaves petitioners exposed to what may well be the chemical equivalent of being burned at the stake. Yes, the contortions necessary to save this particular lethal injection protocol are not worth the price, she said, shaking her head vehemently for effect. So, here, hang on, I'm going to do that.
Yes.
There we go. I'm shaking. You just got to have the effect.
Yes.
Well, Justice Stephen Breyer went further in a separate dissent. He said that the High Court should consider the overall constitutionality of the death penalty, something that was not done since 1976. And as far as the constitutionality of anything this court rules on in the last 20 years, gay rights included. Yeah. To which Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, of course, agreed.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, rather than try to patch up the death penalty's legal wounds one at a time, I would ask for a full briefing on a more basic question, whether the death penalty violates the Constitution, Breyer said. Well, I've read that sumbitch.
Yes.
And there's nothing in there about death row inmates and suffering and homosexual marriage. It's just not in there. Well, that elicited a caustic response from Judge Antonin Scalia, the fourth justice to speak from the bench on the case today, which is unusual. He compared the effort by Breyer and Ginsburg to get the court to reconsider the death penalty to the decision last Friday by 5 justices legalizing same-sex marriage. In both cases, he said, the people, not the court, should decide. Maybe we should celebrate that 2 justices are willing to kill the death penalty outright instead of pecking it to death, Scalia retorted.
Yes.
Yes, well, the case heard on the court's last day of oral arguments was filled by 3 death row inmates, filed by 3 death row inmates challenging Oklahoma's method of lethal injection. A 4th inmate was put to death while the case was pending. Scheduling.
Yes.
So, the court refused, of course, to halt that execution. Just get that out of the way there. Move along.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, the families in these 3 cases have waited a combined 48 years for justice. Oklahoma Attorney General Scott Pruitt said, now that the legal issues have been settled, the state can proceed with ensuring that justice is served for all the victims of these horrible and tragic crimes. Let the injecting begin. Well, midazolam, as I've reported before, was used in 3 2014 executions in Oklahoma, Arizona, and Ohio, which prisoners struggled, groaned, and writhed in apparent pain and discomfort during the administration of the drugs used to paralyze them and stop their hearts. In 12 other executions, the drug cocktail did not cause obvious mishaps. So it's just a case where these 3 were little frickin' pansies. That's all it is. Just a pansy situation.
Yes.
Last month, both the American Pharmacists Association and the International Academy of Compounding Pharmacists, both little fag groups, discouraged their members from participating in the process. The U.S. group called it fundamentally contrary to the role of pharmacists as providers of health care. To which I say, again, you don't provide health care, you provide drugs. Drugs in my pocket.
Yes.
Drugs in my pocket. Well, the difficulties involved in lethal injections are forcing states with capital punishment laws to rejuvenate backup methods once viewed as beyond the pale. Tennessee would allow electrocution again. Yes! Utah, of course, death by firing squad.
Yes.
And now Oklahoma lawmakers are moving towards legalizing the use of nitrogen gas. Nitrogen gas. We don't want them to go faster. Yeah, we'll get Vin Diesel down there with a hood on, and he can give him some nos.
Yes.
Well, 7 states have abolished the death penalty since 2004, most recently included Nebraska, where state regulators overrode Governor Pete Ricketts' veto. Several other states have imposed moratoriums on lethal injections because of problems ranging from botched executions in Oklahoma and Ohio to a cloudy drug concoction in Georgia. In Oklahoma, death row inmates Richard Glossop and John Grant and Benjamin Cole, whose executions had been scheduled for January, February, and March, well, they brought the latest lawsuit. Glossop was convicted of paying another man to kill the owner of the Oklahoma City Budget Motel where he worked as a manager. and has long declared, of course, his innocence.
Yes.
Now, the drug protocol in question is different from the one that the High Court upheld in 2008 in a case from Kentucky. The court's 4 liberal justices claimed midazolam should be outlawed because it does not always prevent prisoners from feeling so much pain as to constitute cruel and unusual punishment, which the Constitution apparently prohibits. Justice Alina Kagan likened it to the feeling of being burned alive. During oral arguments, some of the High Court's conservatives charged that a guerrilla war by death penalty abolitionists contributed to the myriad of problems the state faces in obtaining drugs from manufacturers and pharmacies. So there you go. Screw you. Too bad. You still get the lethal injection. Still costs us $25,000. What a waste of time. Come on. 50 cents for a nice Remington. And, some of the people say, of course, that, you can't, shoot them with, a bullet. They might survive that.
Yes.
You can't do that because, it would take a pretty incredible world-class marksman to kill them with one shot.
Yes.
And to this I say, you know what? That's what the Remington 12 gauge is for. You just take that nice police issue 6-shot pump there.
Yes.
Right up under the chin and boom. I'm willing to bet they ain't getting up after that.
Bullshitters, never keep your mouth shut. Always hustling, always looking for something to do and putting things together.
Right.
That's American. Look how they took the country away from England.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
It's all about the England today, right? Well, we're going to go for our first commercial break. Is that okay with you, Gilbert?
Break for a commercial.
Oh, yes, sir. Going to go for that first commercial break, but hey, don't go anywhere because when we come back, I'm going to tell you about an absolute doorknob.
Yes.
Who died yesterday taking a large mortar firework, lighting it, and holding it to his head. Yeah, and not only did he do that, huh?
Yes.
He did it in front of his entire family. You don't want to miss that. Back into...
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
What if there was a coffee that was sourced from some of the world's most renowned growing regions, abundant with rich, fertile soil? What if this coffee was picked at the perfect moment, then packed meticulously and shipped carefully to be roasted under the watchful eye of coffee masters? What if it was expertly blended, ground, and sealed, ensuring maximum flavor and freshness, then brewed in small batches and always served fresh within 20 minutes, just the way you like it? Now, what if this coffee just happened to be the coffee you already know and love? Tim Hortons. Always fresh. Always great tasting coffee.
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Old Spice body spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
I stood outside assessing the situation. I knew it could be rough in there, but how rough, there was no way to know for sure.
Hey, guys.
Daddy, it's pink!
But hey, a new house, it's a blank canvas, and we got a great one. Thanks to a really low mortgage rate from Navy Federal Credit Union.
Pink?
So she's a princess. You got a problem with that?
Hoorah! Hoorah! 4 million members, 4 million stories. Navy Federal Credit Union.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis.
And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop-up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I've been so inspired by being in New York because everything from what people are wearing on the street to the way they're interacting with each other, to drive through the West Village at night and you see a couple kissing on the street, or you see someone fighting outside their apartment, or you see so much humanity on a daily basis that even if you're not inspired by your own life that day, you can be inspired by someone else's life.
You got that long hair, slicked back, white t-shirt, and I got that good girl face and a tight little skirt. And when we go crashing down, we come back every time, 'cause we never go out of style. We never go out of style. Take me
There's only one place to get more Taylor.
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
So, and here's Irving Villagers incentive one.
Mm-hmm.
Your name is Daphne, 'cause I smell the perfume and I hear the southern accent. Did you just salute to me?
No.
Even though I'm blind?
Oh, man.
We were 5 steps away from winning the Academy Award.
I know.
And we didn't.
No, I know.
That was a mistake on my part.
No, you didn't do anything to screw that up. You just didn't pay the $200 a DVD for them. Yeah. And that's okay, Louis. We stick by your decision.
Yes.
No DVD is worth $200.
Yes.
Well, hey, welcome back to the big show today. Your coffee and cigarettes Monday Mocha on HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk, of course, for this Monday, the 29th of June, 2015. Hey, dude, geez, check that out. 29th of June. We're almost into July.
Yes.
We've got, like, I don't know. Well, I mean, I'm not an optimist, so I'm going to say 30 more days before we get down to minus 200 again.
Yes.
No, I don't, because I asked him, I said, well, fly out here and I'll film you.
Do you think he's talking about me? No, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, it's not awful, but just not good.
No, right. Welcome back to the show today, of course, your coffee and cigarettes. HTLA Radio on New York's Best Talk. 76 degrees Central Park right now and cloudy. Still no rain, but, whatever. Who cares? We're in here where it's dry. We got no shortage of entertaining stuff for you, like the man who took a large mortar shell in the head in front of his family on purpose. I'm not kidding. He did this. Yeah, of course. I don't even know. Does anybody live in Detroit anymore?
Yes.
Really? The place is such a dung hole. Well, I guess it's. I guess we could do a movie actually. Dung and Dumber. Yeah.
The music is fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to hear it.
It's over now.
Yeah.
It's over now. Well, in Detroit, a 47-year-old man who you'd think, I don't know, just bottom of the barrel there, thinking he might be smarter than this. Yeah. And when I first saw this story,
yes.
I actually thought it was one of those 19-year-old jackass guys. I did. I thought, this is definitely something they would do.
Everything that could go wrong goes wrong.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, and it did.
Yeah.
As a 47-year-old man died yesterday evening in Walled Lake, Michigan, when a large mortar firework shell that he was holding to his head exploded, police said. Yeah. Walled Lake Police Chief Paul Shinkass, shaking that ass? What? All right, let's spell it out for you here.
Yes.
S-H-A-K.
Yes.
I-N-A-S. Yeah, that's Police Chief Paul Shaken Ass.
Yes.
There you go. Well, he said the man's family was devastated as it happened right in front of them. They've still got spatter and picking out pieces of dad from their teeth. It's about 9:14 p.m. last night. Oh, and Shaken Ass added that alcohol was a factor. Well, the Oakland County Medical Examiner's Office found the death to be accidental, caused by stupidity and severe blunt force trauma to the head. The fireworks were part of a gathering a week ahead of 4th of July weekend. See, if he had just waited for the actual freaking day, he'd have another week. Yeah, but just like those homosexual marriage folks, can't wait. Yes, they were, it is, of course, illegal in Michigan to set them off. Well, it's a good thing guns are illegal, too. Yeah. Because, we'd never do anything illegal.
Yes.
Right. Yes, it's illegal in Michigan to set them off outside of the day before, during, or the day after the holiday, but Shaken Ass said no citations were issued in connection with the tragedy. Really? What, this family just lost their breadwinner, their father, their husband. Why aren't you hitting them with a $2,500 fine? See, now right there, I think that is an example of what the black people in this country are all mad about, how the white man gets off easy. Yeah. Because that right there, that's a situation like, if I was, police chief Shaken Ass there.
Yes.
I would definitely be writing that citation. Yeah. But no, he says, we ask everyone to use caution and remember that alcohol and fireworks do not mix, adding that police will be enforcing fireworks violations approaching the holiday. The incident was in a residential neighborhood northwest of Detroit. Also Sunday, authorities said 9 people suffered minor injuries during a fireworks mishap at Crocker Park in Westlake, Ohio. No black people were injured in that mishap. Westlake fire officials say one of the fireworks boxes overturned, firing into the crowd minutes after the show began around 10 p.m. Last year, a Detroit man was killed when an errant firework blew into his chest and exploded. Mike Arberman, 44, had picked up a firework and lit it July 4th, but instead of shooting it into the air, it flew right into him.
Yeah.
Also, last July 4th, WXYZ TV. Really? Is that a real station? WXYZ?
Yeah.
Now I know my ABCs. Won't you watch my TV?
Yes.
Yeah, so WXYZ TV chief meteorologist Dave Rexroth lost an eyeball to a fireworks explosion while celebrating the holiday with his family in Iowa. In this case, alcohol was also the culprit.
Yeah.
There you go. So I get, is there a moral of that story that we want to? No, it's just stupid. Move on. No. Well, last Friday, of course.
Yes.
Yes, the absolute world shook in rejoicement with the announcement that gay marriage was now legal in all 50 states. Yes, they did. Well, a historic American divide still remains today. Yes, the target still remains.
Yeah.
And that is, of course, the urban versus rural. Yeah, urban versus rural. That's the great American divide right now. For all the political divides in America, male, female, black, white, and all the rest, one of the oldest remains one of the most persistent, urban versus rural. The different outlooks of city dwellers and country folks show up again on three modern issues that are dominating the headlines. According to NBC News, Wall Street Journal, polling data, gay marriage, free trade, and President Obama's health care law. Most city residents, 62% in fact, supported the Supreme Court decision affirming gay marriage, a plurality of rural residents, 47, who opposed it. As Congress cleared the way last week for a major trade agreement with Asia, 50% of rural residents believe free trade has hurt the United States, NBC reports, and only 27% of urban residents feel likewise. Healthcare? Among city folks, 57% believe the new health care law is going to be essentially upheld last week by Supreme Court, and it's working well. Among rural residents, 63% want the law overhauled, eliminated, and indeed disbanded.
Yeah.
Now, the bottom line, New York City, Chicago, Los Angeles, all three cities were thrilled by last week's news. Jamestown, New York, Litchfield, Illinois, and Redding, California probably weren't as much so. Given the divide, we're going to see political backlash, especially on the Supreme Court's gay marriage and health care rulings. It's going to play out inside the GOP since the Republican Party has largely become a party of rural America. Indeed, the same NBC Wall Street Journal poll finds that 55% of urban respondents identifying as Democrats versus just 31 of rural respondents who are Democrats. So there you go. That's interesting, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think? Why is that here, Jenny?
Yes.
Why is, who cares? It's the Hicks and the educated. Of course, those numbers are going to be like that. They always have been.
Yes.
Hell, they're like that all around the planet. It is the same kind of thing. If you,
yes,
you know, you look to Germany, you look to,
yes,
Austria and the Netherlands,
yes,
and oh God, Spain, and man, I could sit here for the next 2 or 3 hours listing off countries, but but it's, I don't know how that's news. I'm sorry, I don't see. I'm shutting up and moving on. Yeah. Well, what, of course, is news is, of course, the thing that, well, I guess, we've been saying this for so bloody long anyway. Who really cares? Project Lightning, yes, that sexy little code name.
Yes.
Yes, of course, Twitter has announced that they're going to add live event coverage. Yeah, using the idiots of the world to report the news. Yes, in this story, they say journalism seems to be evolving every day, and Twitter is a perfect example of how. The microblogging platform will soon be following in the footsteps of Snapchat and Facebook and adding a news element to the site. When asked what degree and percentage of accuracy would they ever hope to get from the general public reporting news stories, the response was 1 to 3%. Well, by year's end, Twitter is expected to release Project Lightning, which will allow users to view tweets, pictures, and videos of events happening all around the world in real time. On the home screen for the social media mobile app, there will be a new button that, when pressed, will show live tweets from real-time events. If something becomes ultra-popular, like the Oscars or the NBA Finals, Twitter will make it an event aggregating pictures and videos, and users will then be able to swipe through a collection of images, tweets, and videos, including Vines and Periscope videos. These events can range from pop culture events to breaking news. And who's going to bring it to you? Bob from Scranton. You know, didn't they just fire Brian Williams for being a liar?
Yes.
That's a journalist right there, ladies and gentlemen. He made up a story. Let's fire him. Now they open it up to everybody. Hey, you can lie too. There you go.
They get crazy because all of a sudden nobody loves them.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, Louis, but okay. Well, Katie Jacobs-Stanton, vice president of global media at Twitter, told BuzzFeed that one of the site's main issues has been getting material to surface. The challenge we've had over the years is, although we've had the world's greatest content, that's questionable. Yeah, we've had the world's greatest content, of course. It's like having a television without a channel guide or even a remote control, she said. There's no way to really find it or contextualize that content. So Project Lightning is this beautiful vessel for us to surface great content, she says. I'm not going to say it. Stanton and a team of experienced editors will curate featured events using their expertise as well as data-driven algorithms. And that's the way it was today, America. Thanks for watching Data-Driven Algorithms News. Yes, we're developing an editorial policy around those judgment calls, Stanton says. We're making sure that there's fairness and integrity, that we have a set of guidelines who can review before saying yes to that particular tweet or video and including it in Project Lightning. As for more members of the millennial generation to look to social media for their main sources of information, Project Lightning could become the new way they access and contribute to the news. You know, she's saying this to the press and,
yes.
and indeed to all of us. She's saying these things. I don't think I'm the only one out there who looks at Twitter, looks at these people's accounts,
yes.
looks at the content and the pictures and
yes.
the things they try and say and articulate and badly misspell.
Yes.
And sometimes down to like one letter for a word, you know, like the black folks with, you are.
Yes.
You know, they actually type the letters U and R.
Yes.
Is this really where we want news to go in the future? I don't know.
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
Well, yeah, you and every other moron out there with a tweet deck, yeah? You know, and of course, the other scary thing is, Gilbert,
yes.
This is going to make this show obsolete.
Yes.
We're going to... We're just done. Nobody's going to come listen to us anymore for the news. It'd be like, oh, no, I got this one-eyed black idiot drooling all over Twitter. I'm going to get it from him. Hi, this be Eugene. I got your news. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm not even kidding. That some of them are like that. Hell, there's some guys doing radio shows on Spreaker there. And they're like, hi, I'm Eugene, and we playing the hits. You know? I'm not kidding.
Bullshitters, never keep your mouth shut. Always hustling, always looking for something to do and putting things together. That's a American. Look how they took the country away from England.
Well, I know you keep going back to England, and that's great, and it doesn't have anything to do with anything. But in the future, I'm sure there's going to be probably tens of thousands of people like you reporting the news from here, but saying you're in England, and I don't know. It's a total.
I lived in Greenwich Village for a while when I first started out as an actor.
Yeah, okay, well, you know what? Go tweet that. Okay. Don't tell us on here for the 16th time. We know.
Yes.
Yeah, just go tweet it.
Yes.
Oh, you know that's going to be like the new Pepsi generation or something. Go tweet it. They'll probably even bring Michael Jackson back and have TV commercials. Just tweet it. Tweet it. Don't you make me RT it. It's just a story. It's all right.
Yes.
I'm gonna tweet it all night. Just tweet it. I think that bullet that I have put aside for the executions in this state.
Yes.
I'm gonna use it. Yeah. Yeah, because, of course, now we're going for another commercial break, of course. And
break for a commercial.
Yes, thank you, boss. Yeah, we're going to do that. And, of course, but when we come back, of course, the next story is, of course, the 6 things to know about Chris Christie. And I look at that and I think to myself, Jesus, I've got stains in my underwear in the laundry that mean more to me than this story, I just don't. I don't know what's the word. Oh, care. I don't care. So stick with us. We'll be back in 2 minutes, and I'll share the story that I don't care about with all the rest of you who don't care. And back in 2.
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
Good morning. Welcome to Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, where fresh always tastes better. What can I make you this morning?
How about our new flatbread breakfast paninis? Made fresh, just for you, with your favorite breakfast ingredients on maple or multigrain flatbread, then grilled to hot, melted perfection. Just $2.99. Who couldn't warm up to that?
Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, where quality really does meet value.
I've been so inspired by being in New York because everything from what people are wearing on the street to the way they're interacting with each other, to drive through the West Village at night and you see a couple kissing on the street, or you see someone fighting outside their apartment, or you see so much humanity on a daily basis that even if you're not inspired by your own life that day, you can be inspired by someone else's life.
You got that long hair, slicked back, white t-shirt, and I got that good girl face and a tight little skirt. And when we go crashing down, we come back every time, 'cause we never go out of style. We never go out of style. Take me
There's only one place to get more Taylor.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis.
And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop-up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandra, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I stood outside assessing the situation. I knew it could be rough in there, but how rough, there was no way to know for sure.
Hey, guys.
Daddy, it's pink!
But hey, a new house, it's a blank canvas, and we got a great one, thanks to a really low mortgage rate from Navy Federal Credit Union.
Pink.
So she's a princess. You got a problem with that?
Hoorah! Hoorah!
4 million members, 4 million stories. Navy Federal Credit Union.
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Oh, Spice Body Spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
Oh, you owe it to yourself.
Well, you know what? I will get on it as soon as I possibly can, but I don't. It just. I don't give a shit. I don't. I'm not even.
And here's Hervé Villager's incentive one.
Just don't. Welcome back to the Big Show, of course. Your coffee and cigarettes again. On Monday, 29th of June, 2015. Yes, it's the same day. It hasn't changed at all, but hey, I like saying it, so. 77 now in New York's Central Park, of course, under cloudy skies still. And so over the last hour, I've given you 3 updates on Central Park. It's gone up a total of 2 degrees since I started the show. Nobody cares, right?
Always with a female having a relationship, married or single.
Yeah.
It's always better that they do the leaving. You do the leaving, it creates that lingering thing. You know what I mean?
Well, I do know what you're talking about, but, I don't have to worry about it anymore at all because, of course, I'm with that whole LGBTQ thing.
Yes.
When it was brought up to us by the intern last week there on Friday, on the Friday show, when it was made clear to us that, of course, Q stands for questioning. Well, I actually, took some time out it was when Jenny went off with the Latin guy. Yeah. I started questioning my sexuality, and does her butt and titties really get me off, And I started thinking, geez, I don't know, and I don't think men do it for me either.
Yes,
but at the same time, there's some men that do, there's some men that don't.
Yes,
and I'm the next thing I know, I was sitting there and I'm completely freaking confused. I don't know what the hell. And then what am I left with? A paper bag blows down the grass there in the park, and I'm looking at it and I'm going, that might be kind of all right to have sex with. So now I'm on the fence. I don't. I don't know. I've also thought about sex with cars. And
it's about fucking time. Move on.
Okay, yeah. I guess he does the same thing too.
Yes.
Well, moving on today, of course, we could continue to talk about me and my questioning sex. Or we could talk about 6 things to know about Chris Christie. I'm going to let the listeners vote. Call in now, 1-800. Of course, we continue to talk about my deranged, depraved sex, or Chris Christie. Which would it be?
Sex is only the tip of the iceberg.
Well, that's very true, Louis, but it could also be, important.
I think it should be short and sweet.
Well, I think Chris Christie is kind of short and sweet. Yeah. I don't know. Well, I guess until I know anything further,
yes,
I'm just going to have to go ahead with this horrible effing story. Not getting any love from the live Spreaker chat room there, so I've got nothing to guide me, and Coke cans could be sexy too. Well, Chris Christie is set to join the crowded GOP presidential race on Tuesday. Here are 6 things to know about that, yes, New Jersey, not New York governor.
Yes.
Well, the early years. His start in politics came as a volunteer in the 1977 New Jersey governor's race. Christie, at age 14, got his mother to drive him to then state legislator Tom Keene's house so he could knock on the candidate's door and offer his services. Keene, of course, lost that race thanks to Christie. But he did go on to serve 2 terms as governor and years as Christie's mentor. The watchdog days as U.S. Attorney for New Jersey from 2002 to 2008, Christie aggressively went after corruption among elected officials. He prosecuted more than 130 cases and lost none of them. He was named to the federal post after serving as a fundraiser for the 2000 presidential campaign of George W. Bush, whose nickname for Christie was, I'm not making this up, Big Boy. Yes, that's right. You heard it here first. HTLA Radio 1 bringing you the real news, not like that tweet shit.
Yes.
That's right. George W. Bush gave Christie the nickname Big Boy. Oh, Deb says, more of my depraved, confused sex, less Christie. Well, putting down the roots, he doesn't live in the elegant governor's mansion called Drumthwacket, but commutes to the Trenton State House from his home in northern New Jersey. When elected in 2009, Christie opted to stay put so his 4 children would not have to change schools. What a bitch. Well, one legislative issue in New Jersey may have been a sign of Christie's presidential intentions. In November, Christie vetoed a bill pushed by animal rights activists that would have outlawed the use of crates to confine pregnant hogs. New Jersey has about 8,000 hogs. Iowa, seen from the first presidential primary contest, has 20 million. Well, Christie has gotten plenty of attention, most of it negative, of course, for his devotion to the Dallas Cowboys. His own sports career was on the baseball diamond, the catcher on the Livingston, New Jersey Little League team, and captain of his high school team. Christie was made member of the Little League Hall of Excellence in 2013. Wow, really? He must have been so proud. That's just great.
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
Well, you know what, Louis? Why don't you start your own show and you do this crap, because I hate it. Yes, lame news with Louis.
Yes.
Well, Christie is also known for not pulling any punches at town hall meetings. His, at times, combative style has sparked controversy. For instance, in 2012, Christie called a Rutgers law student who was also a former Navy SEAL an idiot. Oops. Yes, the brainiac seems to be embracing his no-nonsense persona as he launches his White House bid. You know, that's the kind of guy I want in the White House, one that mouths off Navy SEALs. And, of course, lives to tell about it. Because if I was that Navy SEAL, he'd be dead. Yeah, a campaign video released ahead of his announcement is titled, Telling It Like It Is. Telling It Like It Is. Well, geez, that reminds me of, fill up my mouth with farts.
Hi, I'm Gil Fulbright. The people that run my campaign, they've made this commercial, and I'm in it. This campaign, it's not about me. It's about crafting a version of me that'll appeal to you. A version that visits random work sites with paid actors pointing at things. A version of me that doesn't find old people loathsome or pointless. Has a conventionally attractive yet curiously still family. Listening to my constituents, legislating, these are things I don't do. What I do is spend about 70% of my time raising funds for re-election. Yeah. I'd do anything to stay in office. My name's Gil Fulbright, but hell, I'll change my name to Phil Goldbright or Bill Fulbright.
Same thing.
Fill up my mouth with farts. These are the things that are important to me. And these are the fine people that finance my campaign. Now, in order to do these things, I have to stay in office. And to stay in office, I have to keep these guys happy. Now, if any of these things make these guys unhappy, well, my hands are tied. Yeah. So come November, the choice is clear.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want another spineless mouthpiece for special interest and lobbyists? Or a spineless mouthpiece for special interest and lobbyists? I'm Philip a Mouth with Farts, and I approve this message.
Yes, look for more of the same from Governor Chris Christie. Anyway, if you want to waste more of your time after this show... Yes. You can always go to youtube.com and put in a search, Telling It Like It Is. There you go. Because I certainly am not playing the damn thing on this show. Yeah. No. Well, moving into our Texas segments now, and of course I've screwed up because I'm going a little long today.
Yes.
I've screwed up. We do have to go to Brock Favors, of course, with the HTLA traffic up there in Chopper 1. So let's get that stupid shit out of the way so I can get onto the stories that matter to you.
Yes.
Take it away, Brock. Are you there?
Hello, everybody out there. This is Brock Favors with Traffic on the Ones. Chad Armstrong is out sick today, so I am filling in for my usual land reports, and I'm up here in the chopper, but I got to tell you guys, I am loving the view. Oh, my God! Oh, no, stop! Oh! Whew. All right. Well, we are over the 10, and it's massively clogged down there like a pint of maple syrup on a cool November morning. And we do, oh, goddamn, we're gonna die in this mother. Oh my God! Woo! Okay, I am very sorry, folks. It's a little bit of a bumpy ride up here. We are now approaching the 405, where the left lane is blocked by a mattress. So somebody is going to be doing a little return to IKEA later today. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no, please! Oh, goddamn! Oh, get me out this motherfucking death machine right now! Oh, no, black people ain't meant to be in the sky! We ain't meant to be in the sky, man! Oh, mama, help me, mother. Oh, mama. With a 405 is up right now, ain't nobody going down this. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, folks. I'm very sorry, but I'm losing my up here.
Actually, you have every right to. We're about to crash.
Help me!
Can you give me any help for $25,000?
We just listened to a black man die and you want money? Oh, Louie.
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories.
Yeah, okay, sure, we'll go with that and move right the frick along into our Texas segment. Yes. And of course, just in time, yes, the HTLA weather girl, Sharon Chesley, has just shown up in the Spreaker.com live chat room with the weather report. Texas is freaking hot today, pretty much 100 out there. For all the specific temperatures in your area of Texas, go to twitter.com. Yeah. You just know there's some slack-jawed Texan out there with your weather report.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, well, moving into the Texas segment, of course, we've got more church attacks in the news, and luckily no black people were injured. That's right. In Texas today, 6 people were arrested at Lakewood Church Sunday after heckling Pastor Joel Osteen while he was preaching, according to the Houston police. The individuals were from Wells, Texas, and are associated with the Church of Wells. Yeah. Well, Casey Eaglin was at Sunday's 11 a.m. service and just a few seats away from one of those protesters. She jumped up with her Bible and started screaming, "Shame on you, Joel, shame on you." And Joel just kind of repeated a scripture, and they escorted her out, said Eaglin. He added, "I was terrified for a second there. After that first girl, I thought, oh, it's just a random heckler, but then you start seeing a second and a third." Well, Lakewood Church told KHOU-TV that a number of their volunteer ushers, also law enforcement officials, those officials were apparently armed during the services so that they can react to anything like what happened in Charleston. Yes. Well, it's Texas. Of course they're going to have their church services armed now.
Yes.
Come on. Well, Eaglin said that he's thankful for the quick response of the Lakewood Church security. For a second there, I started thinking about the church shooting that happened, and I was thinking, oh, God, something bad is about to happen. But they were real quick, he said. The individuals who caused the disturbance were escorted out of the church and were arrested. They are being charged with criminal trespassing, the police said. None except one of the protesters involved in this, his names have been released. The only one who has is, of course, the first woman there who jumped up with her Bible, Sharon Chesley. I think she'll probably be appealing that.
Yes.
Well, moving on. Got some... Well, it's Texas news, technically, but it's pissing off the gays. Yes, it is. Texas Attorney General says judges can, underscore the word can,
yes,
deny same-sex marriage licenses in Texas. That's right. You heard it here first. HTLA, your number one source for news, aside from Twitter. Yes. Shortly after the U.S. Supreme Court, of course, legalized same-sex marriage across the country, politicians from both sides of the aisle began weighing in on the decision, and none of it good. In fact, the 2016 presidential candidates pretty much all against it.
Yes.
And they have to go out there and earn votes. So, if they don't give a shit and they're saying they're against it, yeah, something... Well, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton issued a statement today saying that state workers, of course, can refuse to issue same-sex marriage licenses if doing so is contrary to his or her personal religious beliefs. Oh, that is just sweet ass.
Yes.
Well, now the gays will have to tear down the RFRA again because now it actually is against them. Well, judges and other state workers may claim that the government cannot force them to conduct same-sex wedding ceremonies over their religious objections, Paxton said in a statement. Workers who choose to deny licenses to same-sex couples may face litigation and fines, but there are always lawyers willing to defend them, according to Paxton. Yeah. You don't worry about that, boy. You just say no, and we'll take care of you. Yes, he went on saying, numerous lawyers stand ready to assist anyone in our employ in this fine state defending their religious beliefs, in many cases on a pro bono basis. I will do everything I can from this office to be a public voice for those standing in defense of their rights, Paxton said. Yeehaw! Well, Paxton's opinion comes just 2 days after Texas Governor Greg Abbott released a similar statement expressing disapproval of the Supreme Court's decision. Quote, no Texan is required by the Supreme Court's decision to act contrary to his or her religious beliefs regarding marriage. Suck that. Well, State Senator Jose Rodriguez, of course, expressed his disagreement with the Attorney General's statement shortly after its release. The Attorney General has crossed the line in advising local public officials who are not his clients that they're not bound by the U.S. Constitution, Rodriguez said, because as the justices of the Supreme Court not in favor of this decision have so clearly pointed out, this has nothing to do with the Constitution. He has erred grievously in giving them unsolicited advice that may subject them to liability in both their individual and official capacities and could result in their removal from office or failure to uphold the law, he said. See that? They're going to,
yes.
They're actually going to start firing you now if it's against your religious belief. Isn't that nice? Well, no, they're not going to start firing you.
Yes.
No, that mystical, magical public opinion of gay pride and rights is going to get you fired. Well, religious liberty is a fundamental right protected by the First Amendment, but that doesn't mean that the government officials can use their personal religious beliefs to avoid following the law regarding marriage. Rebecca Robertson of the American Civil Union... Yeah, you know, the American Civil Liberties Union. Yeah, those guys. Well, government officials who take an oath to uphold the law are required to treat all Texans equally, regardless of who they are, or whom they love, she said. Following our reactions from other politicians regarding the Supreme Court's decision, President Obama, yes, the teat sucker. Yes, he says that today is a big step in our march towards equality. Gay and lesbian couples now have the right to marry just like anyone else. Hashtag love wins. Yeah. Governor Greg Abbott says SCOTUS has become an unelected 9-member legislature. I will continue to defend religious liberties of Texas. Yeehaw. Well, Vice President Biden, yes, the one with the nigger controversy of last week. Well, he says that all marriages at their root are about love. In America, our laws now recognize that simple truth. Hashtag love wins today, and we couldn't be prouder. Ignore nigger. And Ken Paxton of Texas says, following a SCOTUS flawed ruling, the next fight is religious liberty. Hashtag TCOT. Hashtag Texas Ledge. Speaker John Boner, who's I guess he's got a real boner now. Says the statement on the Supreme Court decision on marriage is here, and then there's a weird J9ROYF link thing.
Yes.
And I'm not going to afford the energy to press that and read his statement because I don't care. Oh, and here's a name from the past we haven't heard in a while, Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, she says SCOTUS has unequivocally affirmed that equal justice means marriage equality for LGBT Americans. Go, or goo, I don't know, another one of those damn links.
Yes.
And, of course, she's got to be different. So, of course, her hashtag is love can't wait.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so good. You know, all the rapists now are going to be challenging all their convictions.
Yes.
Because, you know, under that hashtag, you know, sex can't wait. You know. Well, going from all this little tiny stuff in Texas now, moving up skyward, yes, up ever higher into the heavens, into indeed the heart of the universe itself. Yes, we go now to the daily sky spectacle, and Devlon, this one's for you, because, of course, there's great astrological things happening today.
Yes.
As Jupiter, of course, and Venus are on a collision course. I'm not kidding. That's what the headline says. Of course, they're not going to smash together and then little bits of rock come down and destroy the Earth. Don't worry about that. But no, that's not what's going on. But what is going on is, of course, Venus and Jupiter are getting very close. It's that time of, I guess the time of decades and decades and decades that it takes for them to get around to this thing again. Well, anyway, Skywatchers are going to get a special treat over the next few days. Yes, for 8 straight nights, beginning on Saturday, the 2 brightest planets, those being, of course, Jupiter and Venus, not Kim Kardashian, will, of course, be very close to each other in the evening sky, close enough to cover both with the thumb of your outstretched hand, according to Sky and Telescope. Well, yeah, that's about right size. Yeah, I guess it counts for my penis, too. It's just kind of hard. You know, I got to, get on the roof of, the SUV or something.
Yes.
And, sort of, I got to do that naked.
Yes.
And then I'll have to make sure that the SUV is parked in alignment with the stars first. And then hold my little mushroom up there and block it out. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing anymore.
Yes.
Well, the planets will be visible at twilight in the western sky, weather permitting. Tuesday will be the best view, of course, as the 2 planets will appear so close together that they'll look like a tight, brilliant double star in the evening sky. Ooh, it gets me excited. Tight, bright evening stars. Conjunctions, of course, are rare events, and there 2 or more objects appear extremely close together in the night sky, NASA says. While they may appear to be bumping into one another, they're actually very far apart, of course, CBS reports. Venus is 56 million miles from Earth. Jupiter is 10 times farther at just over 550 million miles. Also, the planet Venus is the 2nd planet in the solar system, while Jupiter is the 5th planet from the Sun. The conjunction at Tuesday is the best one we will have in the evening for quite some time, rivaled by the one back in March 1st of 2020. Rivaled only by the... What do you mean back in March 1st, 2023? I'm just asking the question, did I sleep unusually long last night?
Yes.
Is it... really? Is it June 2023? I don't know. Well, anyway, March 2023, March 1st, is not quite as close as Pat Harrington, the astronomer at Rice University, in an interview with, of course, the Houston Chronicle. The 2 planets will be so close together that you'll be able to cover both with the tip of your penis. Yeah. According to Sky and Telescope magazine, Sky and Telescope also points out that the current string of Venus-Jupiter conjunctions closely resembles a similar series between the years 3 and 2 BC. Wow, that magazine's been around a long time. Well, it has been suggested that their point of appearance might have been what was come to known as the Star of Bethlehem. Jesus Christ. All these damn years, I always thought it was Venus.
Yes.
Now it's this conjunction between 2 and 3 BC. Oh, wait a minute. If the stars were the conjunction that happened the last time between 2 and 3 BC, well, BC last time I looked was before Christ. Okay, so if we're following along the little stories,
yes,
and if we're looking at the We Three Kings from Orient Are,
yes,
going across the desert following the star, they're 2 to 3 years early.
they get fucking crazy because all of a sudden nobody loves them.
Not going to sing it again. All right, no. Not going to sing it again. Well, finally today, our final story of the show, and of course of this horrid Monday.
Yes.
We have a story that, well, I don't know. This one kind of struck me as inspirational, kind of like, wow, there's goddamn hope for us yet. We're not all going to die, you know. Yeah, so let's move on with the headline, of course. Man forgets his glasses, but then goes out and buys a winning lottery ticket with no glasses.
Yes.
All right. Well, some call it dumb luck. Others call it, well, really stupid like me. Well, when Bob Sabo of Easton, Connecticut, didn't want to wait in line to buy a lottery ticket at the Super Stop and Shop supermarket in nearby Fairfield, he decided to do something he never did before: buy a ticket from a lottery vending machine. Except he forgot his glasses, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's actually a mistake that made him $30,000 wealthier.
Yeah.
Sabo says he meant to buy two $20 tickets, but says he didn't have his glasses on and instead bought one $30 ticket. When he got home, he discovered the ticket was a winner after being reunited with his glasses. He says, I bought a 30 times cash ticket for $30 by mistake, which left me with $10 to buy another ticket. He was quoted as saying on the lottery's website, when I got home and scratched that 30 times ticket, I couldn't believe it. We won $30,000. Winning that the way we did was just a very, very freaky thing, he says.
Yeah.
Well, the Super Stop and Shop branch will receive a $300 check from the Connecticut Lottery, of course, for selling Sabo the winning ticket. Sabo declined to comment further when contacted by the local Easton Courier newspaper, and that's the end of the story, so he doesn't care. F off, he's got his money, go away. To which I say, you old bastard, don't forget your glasses next time.
Yes.
Just keep losing like the rest of us. Well, hey, that is the end of the show for today. I want to thank the one, the only Louis Lawless for being completely suffering from dementia today. Go into the light, Louis. Go into the light.
The music
Yeah.
is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got to hear it.
Yeah, we're listening right now.
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
Yeah, good. Well, it's always good to have you. Thanks for being here. We'll catch you tomorrow.
You know how to spell my last name on the check, right? It's Louis Lawless.
You betcha.
Yes.
Yes. Also, Gilbert Gottfried, thank you for being here again today.
Thank you for listening and support the show for the love of God.
Hey, why don't you go buy a lottery ticket, buddy? Also, thank you to the listeners out there in listener land. Yes, whether you're iTunes, iHeart, Spreaker.com, Stitcher.com, Podcast One, the list goes on.
Yes.
Nothing but fun. You're out there. We're in here. Have yourselves a great day. We will catch you tomorrow for the Tuesday Espresso, 3 p.m. Eastern. Be there, be square. New York's besttalk.com, new website. Go check it out so that I can stop saying this damned website name. Have yourself a great day, guys. Catch you tomorrow.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.